All right, we're to the second segment of this workout today. So this segment we would call our activation segment. We're gonna do 3 exercises today. The first one is gonna be what we call a side lying clamshell. Second one will be a bodyweight bridge, and the last one will be a front plank. So what I wanna do today, rather than do the workout with you, I wanna give you all the tools, all the setup and so forth so that you can be successful on your own when you're getting to this workout. So this first one, the side lying clamshell, first thing, make sure you have a nice cushion to support your head because you will be on your side. You don't want your head cocked like this. You want to keep it nice and level as if you were sitting upright. The second thing is I'm sitting on this table. That's for you to be able to see easier and for us to hold the camera easier on the other side. Make sure you have a mat. This is a exercise that's going to be most beneficial if it's done on the floor. The floor is hard. You want a harder surface for this. Bed can be a little bit too soft for this. If you absolutely have to use a bed, then go for it, but the preference would be harder floor. So have your mat. All right, so I'm gonna lie on my side here, and in terms of setup, I want to lift my feet, and I wanna look to see that the backs of my feet are in line with my butt, and I wanna stack both of my knees on top of each other, and then I'm gonna set my head. I want my head, like I said, to be nice and level. As far as your hands, just put them in a comfortable position. I like to rest this one as I am right now and take this one and place it right on my hip. It gives me a little more feedback as to where I'm going with this exercise. So let's get to that part. So with the exercise, you're gonna start by getting your strong inhale. That's a diaphragmatic breath that we've talked about in early episodes, like episode 1. So diaphragmatic breathing, you're gonna fill your abdomen. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw your belly button inward like that, and then we're going to put it into the motion. Okay, so diaphragmatic breath in, and then we're going to breathe out. So I'm drawing in with my breath, and I'm raising this leg. I want to make sure that I don't rock the hips back. I want to keep the hips stacked, so my range of motion with that knee going upward is going to be determined by my available range of motion in this joint here. Okay, so we're not going to a predetermined height, we're going based on what we feel. All right, so let's just do a few together, and then on your own, you can do the other side. So it's going to be a deep breath in, breath out, find that end range, breath in, breath out, control that back down again, deep breath in, breath out, breath in, and breath out. We're gonna skip that other side like I said. The last thing I would share with you is something like that where you're really focusing on your breathing in the exercise. Instead of an interval timer of 15-5 like we had for the warm-up earlier, that's what I'm pointing to. What I want you to do with this is set a time of a minimum of 1 minute up to 3 minutes on one side, and be intentional about your inhale, exhale in a 2-breath cycle on each side. Okay? Next exercise is your bodyweight bridge. For this one, I would suggest that you don't use a pad for your head. The reason for that, I'll show you, is if I have a pad, it's already putting my neck into a little bit more bend, and this exercise involves lifting your hips. So if I'm in a little more bend and I lift my hips, I can put a lot of negative stress into your neck. So that's why I would suggest otherwise. Just gonna put that down. You're gonna tuck your chin so you're nice and level here. You're gonna set your pelvic position so you don't wanna be overarched or tucked too much. Just kind of find that middle. And then as before, we're gonna have our 2-breath cycle. One more thing for setup, almost forgot, toes up. Toes up is a great thing because it trains this muscle. This muscle is a great muscle for preventing falls from stubbing your foot, really important. So any chance you can strengthen that muscle, do so. This is an easy way to do it. Okay, on to the exercise. We're gonna take that deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're gonna extend up. As we're extending up, we're squeezing the buttocks. We're pulling somewhat toward whatever's in front of you so that you're engaging your hamstrings, and you're keeping that lift on your toes so that you feel your shin muscle. Deep breath in, breath out. And let's do that a couple more times. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. And one more time, breath in, breath out. Breath in, and breath out. Okay, like I said with the clamshell, for that one, again, I would suggest that you do that for a minimum of 1 minute, focusing on that 2-breath cycle, up to 3 minutes. The last one that we're going to do is a front plank. Front plank is a great exercise. It's an overall full body exercise. Trains some great strength and stability in your neck and in your shoulders, and also your trunk and your hips, believe it or not. And it's a great stretch for your lower leg as well. So for this one, you're going to choose a position. Easiest position is going to be with your arms extended, as I'm showing here. And to start with your knees kind of back like this, and tuck your pelvis, and then drive your hips forward, all the while keeping tension through your body. So I'm squeezing my arms, I'm squeezing my butt, and I'm really focusing on drawing in my belly button toward my spine like we did before. And I'm simply going to hold this with my neck in a relaxed position like so, versus here or here. I also want to prevent any rounding here or sinking here. Okay? So from this position, you're going to hold that for at least 30 seconds up to a minute. So notice I did not say 1 to 3 minutes. Starting out, that can be a little bit too much. So for this one, I'd say at least 30 seconds up to a minute. If you get to a minute in this position and it's no problem, it's time to progress to another position. So from there, what I would suggest is getting your toes underneath you and getting into more of a full push-up plank position, still with all the same parameters, and working to hold that for at least 30 and up to a minute. Okay? Once you can do that, then the last thing you could do before getting really fancy is to go to your forearms, still applying force through your body, and still shooting for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay? For all of those, 1 set should be plenty. That's the activation. We'll see you for the workout.